After more than 2 decades turning wrenches, replacing transmissions people swore were totally fine, and watching folks finance bad decisions with leather seats, I can tell you something most dealerships hope you never hear. People are overpaying for reliable cars every single day. Everybody runs to Civics, Corollas, Accords, great cars, sure, but at this point they're priced like they were blessed by the Pope himself. Meanwhile, 3 ridiculously reliable cars are sitting on used lots, like the last slice of pizza nobody notices because the box says vegetarian. And trust me, the first one might surprise you, but the last one is the kind of car that makes mechanics grin like raccoons near an open trash can. It's that good. Here on Old Man Garage, we like cars that start every morning, don't require a second mortgage for repairs, and don't make your check engine light feel like part of the dashboard design. I've been a certified mechanic since 2002. Worked on everything from farm trucks held together by hope and zip ties to luxury sedans that cry if you use regular gas. And after keeping notes on all of them, I can tell you this. These 3 cheap used cars are some of the smartest buys nobody talks about. We're counting down from number 3 to number 1, and number 1 is the one I'd personally buy again tomorrow without blinking. Let's start with number 3. And before we do, quick favor, send this video to that one friend who keeps saying, "I'm thinking about getting a used BMW." You might actually save a life, or at least a bank account. A few months ago, a guy named Marcus came into the shop. 34 years old, software engineer, nice guy, terrible car shopping instincts. His budget was around 18 grand, and he was absolutely locked in on a 2019 Honda Accord. In his mind, that was the safe choice. Reliable, popular, respectable. Basically, the khaki pants of the car world. I asked him one question. Do you want the car everyone buys, or do you want the smarter buy? He looked at me like I had just asked him to explain taxes. Sitting on a local lot was a 2018 Mazda 6 Grand Touring with just over 50,000 miles for $14,200. Clean title, 1 owner, full maintenance history, and honestly, better looking than half the so-called luxury sedans people brag about on Instagram, while ignoring the fact their transmission is filing for divorce. He laughed. Actually laughed. Said, "Mazda, aren't those the cars people bought in 2007 and then watched dissolve into rust like an aspirin tablet?" Fair question. Old Mazda had some rough years. Back when Ford was involved, things got weird. Some of those old Mazda 3s rusted so fast they looked like they were aging in dog years, but the 2014 and newer Mazda 6, totally different animal. This is post-Ford Mazda, fully Mazda engineered, and that changed everything. Under the hood sits the Skyactiv G 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, and this engine is one of the best naturally aspirated engines built in the last decade. No turbo hanging around like an expensive little time bomb. No complicated nonsense designed by an engineer who clearly hated mechanics. Just clean, efficient, smart engineering. It makes around 184 horsepower depending on the year and trim, gets roughly 26 city and 35 highway miles per gallon, and somehow manages to feel more alive than a lot of cars with bigger numbers on paper. It's like that quiet guy at work who doesn't talk much, but somehow benches 315 on weekends. And here's the part people miss. Starting in 2018, Mazda improved the fuel system with both port and direct injection working together. That means less carbon buildup issues than the usual direct injection only headache. That matters, because carbon buildup is one of those repairs that starts with, "It's probably nothing," and ends with you Googling, "Can humans live without savings?" The transmission is Mazda's own 6-speed automatic, the Skyactiv Drive, not a Jatco grenade. Not something designed to emotionally damage you. Their own transmission, smooth, reliable, and I've personally seen these go well past 200,000 miles without major drama. And the compression ratio? 13:1. At the time, that was one of the highest compression ratios in a production gasoline engine without requiring premium fuel. That's not marketing fluff. That's actual engineering. That's the kind of thing mechanics respect. That's the automotive version of someone bringing homemade barbecue to a cookout instead of store-bought potato salad. Now let's talk money. A clean 2017 to 2020 Mazda 6 usually runs between $12,000 and $18,000, depending on mileage and trim. A comparable Honda Accord from the same years, usually $16,000 to $23,000. Toyota Camry, same story, $15,000 to $22,000. So you're saving $4,000 to $6,000 right out of the gate. That's not coupon savings. That's, I can pay my insurance for a year and still afford tacos savings. And here's the funny part. Most people still trust the Accord more just because it says Honda on the badge. People buy logos like they're investing in rare art. Meanwhile, the Mazda 6 is over there quietly minding its business, being reliable, looking better, and costing less. Most expensive repair I've personally done on one of these? Rear brake caliper at around 98,000 miles. About 285 bucks. Same job on an Accord? Around 380. Camry? Around 360. Not a life-changing difference, but enough to remind you that reliability isn't just, does it break? It's also, does the repair make me question every financial decision since high school? Things to check before buying one? Look at the rear wheel wells and rocker panels, especially if the car lived in northern states where winter roads are seasoned like a steak with salt. Rust is still your enemy. Listen for ticking from the fuel injectors on cold start. Totally normal if it fades after 30 seconds. If it sounds like a drummer practicing for a metal band and never stops, then we investigate. Also test the infotainment screen on the 2016 and 2017 models. Some had freezing issues because apparently even car screens now need emotional support. Usually a dealer firmware update fixes it for free. Who is this car for? First-time buyers, young professionals, families, anyone who wants a mid-size sedan that feels expensive without requiring luxury car therapy bills. But if you absolutely need a WD or a V6 because you think every grocery run is qualifying laps at Daytona, this may not be your car. Still, for pure value, the Mazda 6 is criminally underrated. And if number 3 already surprised you, number 2 is the kind of car people ignore purely because of the badge. And that mistake is saving smart buyers thousands. A couple years ago, a retired teacher named Dave walked into the shop with the confidence of a man who had already made up his mind and just wanted me to agree with him. 62 years old, good dude, and absolutely determined to buy a used BMW 3 Series because his neighbor had one. Now listen, I like BMWs. I also like fireworks. Doesn't mean I want one exploding in my driveway. Dave had a budget of $12,000 and had found a 2015 BMW 328i with about 90,000 miles. Looked clean, drove nice, leather seats, fancy badge. The kind of car that makes you feel successful right up until the first repair bill arrives wearing brass knuckles. I pulled him aside and said, "Dave, I like you too much to let you do this to yourself." Instead, I showed him a 2014 Buick LaCrosse with 78,000 miles listed for $9,800. He looked offended, like I had just offered him meatloaf at a steakhouse. "Buick?" he said. "Isn't that what my grandfather drove to church?" Exactly. And that's why it's a steal. See, the Buick name has a branding problem. People under 50 hear Buick and picture beige paint, orthopedic seat cushions, and someone yelling at a waiter because the soup is too spicy. But branding and engineering are two very different things. And the 2010 to 2016 LaCrosse with the 3.6-liter LFX V6, that car is way better than people realize. Under the hood, you get GM's 3.6-liter V6 making around 304 horsepower. Smooth, quiet, and strong enough that highway merging doesn't feel like asking permission. It uses direct injection, variable valve timing, and a timing chain setup rated well beyond 200,000 miles if the owner wasn't treating oil changes like optional gym memberships. Fuel economy sits around 18 city and 28 highway, depending on trim and whether the previous owner drove like they were late to their own wedding. And here's the insider detail most buyers never know. The LaCrosse shares its Epsilon 2 platform with the Cadillac XTS and even the Saab 9. That means you're getting Cadillac bones at used Hyundai prices. That's like buying store-brand cereal and finding out it was made in the same factory as the expensive stuff. Same crunch, less financial regret. The transmission is the 6-speed 60/70 automatic. Now, if serviced every 60,000 miles, this thing is solid. Ignore the fluid forever like some people ignore their dentist. And yes, it can get ugly. But maintained properly, it's a tank. 2 years after Dave bought that LaCrosse, he came back in for regular service. He was at 121,000 miles. Total maintenance cost since buying it? $214. Oil changes, 1 battery, 1 set of brake pads. That's it. Meanwhile, his neighbor with the BMW was on a first-name basis with the service advisor and probably helping fund someone's lake house. Now let's compare prices. A clean 2013 to 2016 Buick LaCrosse usually runs between $7,000 and $12,000 depending on trim and mileage. A comparable Cadillac XTS, $14,000 to $20,000. A BMW 3 Series from the same years, usually $12,000 to $18,000. And let me tell you something beautiful. The BMW may be more fun, but fun disappears real fast when your cooling system invoice looks like tuition. Most expensive repair I've personally done on a LaCrosse? Water pump at around 140,000 miles, about $420. Same job on the BMW? Around $1,100. Yes, $1,100. At that point, the water pump better come with free concert tickets and emotional support. Things to check before buying one? First, listen for timing chain stretch. Cold start rattle is your warning sign. If it sounds like someone shaking a toolbox under the hood, budget around $800. Second, check the front wheel bearings. A humming noise at highway speed usually means one is on its way out, about $350 per side. And this one matters. Check the transmission fluid. If it's dark, smells burnt, or looks like it's been through a war, walk away. Don't negotiate. Don't think about it. Leave like your ex just walked into the restaurant. Because transmission neglect on these can turn a good deal into a documentary about bad decisions. Who is this car for? People who want a quiet, comfortable highway cruiser, commuters, retirees, budget-conscious buyers who want near-luxury comfort without luxury repair bills. This is the car for someone who wants heated seats, a smooth ride, and enough cabin quiet to hear themselves regret texting their ex. But if you need something compact for tight city parking or something sporty enough to impress a 23-year-old valet, this probably isn't your move. Still, for comfort, reliability, and value, the LaCrosse is one of the most overlooked used cars in America. And if you think this one is underrated, wait until you hear number one. Because this next car is the one people walk past every day without realizing they're ignoring one of the smartest used buys on the market. Last spring, a 28-year-old nurse named Sarah came into the shop looking for a daily driver. Smart, practical, and already stressed enough from 12-hour shifts and people asking if WebMD counts as medical advice. Her budget was $8,000, and she had her heart set on a 2016 Nissan Sentra with about 95,000 miles. Now, I'm going to be nice here because this is Old Man Garage, and we believe in honesty with just the right amount of emotional damage. I told her, Sarah, buying that Sentra would be like proposing on the first date because the appetizers went well. Technically possible. Spiritually reckless. She laughed. I did not, because sitting 2 rows over on the same lot was a 2008 Toyota Avalon with 130,000 miles for $6,200. And the second I saw it, I knew that was the better car. She looked at me like I had recommended she start collecting porcelain dolls. Isn't that an old person car? Yes, and old people love 2 things: low blood pressure and reliable transportation. There's a reason for that. The Avalon is one of the most criminally overlooked used cars in America because people under 45 think it looks like something their grandparents drove to brunch after church. And honestly, fair. But let me tell you something. Boring-looking, reliable cars are where the smart money lives, because under that very respectable HOA-approved exterior sits Toyota's legendary 3.5-liter 2GR FE V6. And if you know engines, that name should make you smile. This is the same basic power plant used in the Lexus ES350, Toyota Camry V6, Toyota Highlander, and about 12 other vehicles that refuse to die out of pure spite. It makes around 268 horsepower depending on the year, pulls smoothly, sounds better than it has any right to, and paired with Toyota's 6-speed automatic, it's one of the most dependable combinations ever built. Fuel economy, around 19 city and 28 highway. Not Prius numbers, but also not, I need to refinance because gas hit $4 territory. And here's the beautiful part, timing chain, not timing belt. That means no expensive belt service hanging over your head like student loans. The chain is designed for the life of the engine if basic maintenance is done. I have personally seen 3 Avalons go past 350,000 miles with nothing more dramatic than oil changes, brakes, and the occasional owner pretending tire rotations are a conspiracy. The valve springs, oil pump, water pump. Toyota overbuilt these things like they were preparing for the apocalypse. This is the kind of car that survives teenagers learning to drive, road trips with screaming children, and people who think maintenance schedule is just a suggestion. Now let's talk money. A clean 2008 to 2012 Avalon usually runs between $5,000 and $9,000 depending on condition and mileage. A comparable Lexus ES350, which is basically the same car wearing nicer shoes, usually goes for $10,000 to $15,000. That's a $5,000 to $7,000 difference for a badge. Not a better engine. Not a magical transmission blessed by monks. A badge. That's like paying extra for bottled water because the label uses cursive. And yes, the Lexus interior is a little fancier. But once your kids drop fries in the back seat, we're all equal. Most expensive repair I've ever done on an Avalon? Alternator replacement? About $340. Same job on the Lexus? Closer to $680. Apparently, luxury also means your alternator gets a college degree before installation. Things to check before buying one? First, front struts. If the nose dips hard under braking like the car is bowing politely, budget around $400 for replacements. Second, valve cover gaskets. Look for oil seepage. Usually around $150 fix, but it tells you a lot about whether the previous owner treated maintenance like adulthood or like New Year's gym resolutions. Third, test the power steering pump at full lock. If it whines louder than a toddler in Target, it may be on its way out, around $280. Still, not scary numbers. Not German luxury surprise numbers. More like annoying but survivable numbers. Who is this car for? Commuters. Families. People who want Lexus-level comfort without having to explain to their spouse why the repair bill costs more than the vacation you canceled. This is for buyers who care more about long-term peace than short-term parking lot compliments. If your main goal is impressing coworkers who think leasing a base-model luxury car is a personality trait, you'll probably skip this. But if your goal is owning a car that quietly starts every morning for the next 10 years while your friends are arguing with service departments, this is your car. The Toyota Avalon, Lexus quality for half the price. The Buick LaCrosse, Cadillac comfort without the financial jump scare. And the Mazda 6, the best-kept secret in the mid-size sedan world. 3 cars the market forgot, but mechanics never did. And if I had to buy one car today to drive for the next 10 years with the lowest total cost of ownership, I'd still grab another Mazda 6 without blinking. Because after 23 years of watching cars roll into shops, I've learned something simple. The smartest car in the parking lot usually isn't the flashiest one. It's the one quietly leaving with its owner's wallet still intact. And that, my friends, is the kind of luxury I actually respect.